What's going on, guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Ultimate Ironman series. In the last episode, we traded some Slayer and we got one of the most tedious quests in the game out of the way. And in this episode, I can assure you we are one of the biggest spoons ever. In the last two episodes, we started out training Slayer by point boosting. So for point boosting, there are a couple of considerations we have to make. We currently have a lizard task, and we could opt to do the sulfur lizards in the Konar dungeon. This would be pretty good for EXP and for drops, but we also have to consider to get the task done very quickly. And for this there are two things to consider, both how fast the task actually is, but also how fast we can actually get to the task. And I think the fastest way to do the lizard task for us is to do the desert lizards. These are very easy to get to with the fairy ring, and also this should be pretty fast to kill. Only problem is we have to use the ice coolers, but I think that won't be much of an issue. Just going to try out this task to see whether I like it, and otherwise the next lizard task we could always do the sulfur lizards. The desert lizards weren't really that bad to do, the ice coolers also not much of a problem. Now we are on a cave crawler task and these can poison you. And again, this is a consideration to make. It could be worth it to get an anti-poison for this, but it could probably also just be worth it to get some food and try to out-heal the poison. I'm just going to try to do this task without an anti-poison and just try to out-heal it. And then the next time we will get this task, we will probably just know what we should do. Yeah, this task was pretty easy to out-heal the poison for, so next time we get this task, definitely no anti-poison needed. Just take some food, which is way easier to get. We just got a dark totem base from a Twisted Banshee task. I'm not sure if this is in any way worth keeping. In the end, we can kill Scotizo with this. Yeah, I don't think this is storable by any means, and also it's probably not worth keeping. Yeah, let me just figure this out. I started the recorder to talk about the Dark Totem base for a bit, and we also got a hit points level. Wasn't even my intention, but that's 85 hit points, a very nice milestone out of the way. Yeah, these Dark Totem pieces, we need 3 of them to fight Scotizo, and like hoping to get 2 others within the same task or fairly soon is never really worth it, I think. So it's definitely a drop. But apart from that, these Twisted Banshees are really good for both seeds and herb drops. Our seeds slowly stacking up still. We probably have around 75-76 herb lore in terms of seeds right now. Still need to gather a couple to get to the Ceradome Bruise, and then we'll also get loads of XP from the Ceradome Bruise itself. Currently 170 Toad Flag seeds. Obviously have to ground out the bird's nest for these, but probably just kill Giant Mole for that. And as usual, all the alcohols we'll just sell to the West Ardy General Store. These buy for a pretty decent price, also really easy to get to with the West Ardy portal. Because for us it's for sure not worth it to take our alk runes with us. It would mean we have to take fire and nature runes, that's 2 inventory spots wasted. Yeah, definitely not worth it. Time for another farming contract, we are still keeping up with these as always. We just finished our 59th task, which means, as you guys should know by now, that we will go do another Konar task. We can probably at the moment unlock the Superior Slayer monsters. This means a Superior Slayer monster can spawn occasionally, and this will be very nice in terms of both Slayer EXP, and this also gives us a roll on the Imbued Heart. The Imbued Heart, a very rare item to get, around 20 mil Slayer EXP on average I think, so shouldn't really expect it, but the best thing obviously is to unlock this as soon as possible. We currently have 400 Slayer points, so we should be comfortable to unlock the bigger and better reward. This will be the Superior Slayer monster spawn. Other than that, don't think there's anything really good. No, I don't really think there's anything really good we can unlock at the moment. We do need to save up some points to unlock the Slayer helmet later when we go for the Black Mask. Yeah, and the Jet task could be quite good as well, but not really looking for that right now. Probably will want to wait till we actually get the Slayer helmet. Yeah, so let's just keep it at this and try to get another Konar task. Let's see what we will get. Those are Bloodvelds in the Catacombs. I think these are pretty good. We can also safe spot these. Not sure if it's worth the hassle to do that, but we'll just figure that out. I tried to safe spot these Bloodvelds for a bit. Don't think it's really worth it. We are currently on our 2nd reset. And what I did was just tag them all and then we can just AFK for a bit. Only need to sip prayer potions. Makes me able to edit some videos on the side. Do have to make sure to watch the screen once in a while because it is possible to die here. Especially if you tag this many when you run out of prayer, you die fairly quickly. So as long as you pay a bit of attention, this should be a pretty chill way to do this. We just got a loop half of key, and this could pretty much be worth it to keep, as if we get a tooth half as well, we can open the chest and then we get 1 dragonstone. In general, we should need more dragonstones to fill up our jewelry box. That will probably be just done with Salcano, but only 1 would be pretty nice for the Mounted Glory. So yeah, I think we just keep this, hope for a tooth half during Slayer, should expect to get that, and then we can just make the Mounted Glory with it. The thing I was talking about before, about forgetting to sip your prayer potions, Yeah, that just happened. I was at 6 HP when I looked, and I forgot to take a clip of this, but I'm really glad I didn't die. The problem wouldn't be that big, as our dead bank isn't really that interesting at the moment, but getting all our items back would have been quite a hassle. We are currently at 2 brimstone keys, still have the loop half of key as I explained before. Other than that, we get some blood runes from this task as well, quite good. Another thing is we can get a superior spawn here, which would be quite nice in terms of EXP and in terms of the impute heart as I explained before, but unfortunately we didn't have any luck on that yet. We just got a hard clue, and I'm still pretty mixed on this. There are a lot of clue steps we cannot complete because we didn't really complete that many quests yet. I think for now I'm still going to try to do them, but if we get stuck on a lot of steps from now on, I probably just opt to leave the hard clues on the ground, honestly. Yeah, for sure the step we can complete, let's just try to do that, and again, if we figure out we cannot complete that many clues in the end, we probably quit doing them. We had to leave for a farmer contract, so I just opted to do the clue as well. This step, troll-wise, we should have a teleport for that, right? Wait, it's actually all the way over here. I think this is locked behind Desert Treasure. Let me look this up. For this step, we need to complete Troll Romance before. Don't really want to do that right now, so we will just drop the clue. Yeah, the considerations for these clues, yeah, still not really sure on this. Probably won't do them anymore, honestly. We have been boosting for farming contracts for a while now, but I've never really shown you how we actually boost for this. So we get garden pies from the chef's guild, and we do need a chef's hat to go in here, and there's a really handy stash unit for this, and I'll just show you that later on in the episode. Interestingly enough, we are avoiding farming EXP, since whenever we would go over 85, we cannot let our boost run out, which is a little trick we use to not get any fruit tree contracts. So the dragon fruit tree seeds are currently still a drop. We just prepped for another Spory KC, fairly easy kill, pretty good RNG on the hits here. We are still looking for the bottomless bucket, and also we gotta keep up with the chronal seeds, so those are both the drops we are hinting at the moment. Let's grab a spade to loot it. Let's see, that bucket would be really nice. Chronal seed, also pretty nice. Wait, there's no way. Wait, there's no way. We're actually spooned. Whoa, we are actually spooned. This is extremely good. This is extremely good. Crats, thank you, Polly. We are such spoons. Oh man, this is literally one of the items. Oh man, oh, this is so good. Oh, let's fucking go. This is so nice. Oh, don't underestimate this. This is so good. Oh, love to see it. Love to see it. Hands above the table. Yeah, I'll try to. That was a little live reaction from the live stream. Yeah, this is actually insane. The fact that we got it so soon, like, Spory is really hard to grind since you can only do 1 KC a day, so it's not really easy to get the bucket, I'd say. You really have to roll the RNG on it. And like getting this at 4 KC, especially on the Ultimate Ironman, is so good. It both only takes 1 inventory spot, and you also get double the Ultra Compost whenever you grab some Ultra Compost from the bin. And this makes this item so good for Ultimate Ironman. We're now going to get some Volcanic Ash, and Urpens will probably be booming at this point. The bottomless bucket is so great in itself, but it's also a storable item at the Leprechaun. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how strong this is for Ultimate Ironman. So a little showcase of this. We used to grab all the buckets from the Leprechaun, grab 6 Ultra Compost because we have very limited inventory space, and then we had to walk to the Leprechaun back and forth. But instead, we now drop all the Volcanic Ash in the compost bin, then stand on this exact spot and just fill up the bucket in one go. And this will also be very helpful for Urban, since we don't have to take out all the separate buckets from the Leprechaun, but instead we can just take this one bucket. I haven't been doing many Urbans lately, but this will definitely motivate me to do more, so probably a lot more Urbans the coming time, and yeah, this item is just great. I just did my first Urban with the bucket, and it's actually so great. This combined with the herb sack basically means we need around 4 inventory spots to do Urbans. Usually we'd need a lot more for the herbs, but all the herbs just go straight into the herb sack. I think in the last episode I made a mistake with this. I just picked all the herbs and then kept filling the sack, but instead you can just open it and all the herbs will go straight in there. So all we need is a seed dibber, a spade, the bucket, and we need to wear the secateurs, so the corrupted bow has to go in the inventory. But if we have that set up, we can just do Urbans always. Only thing we have to do in between the Urbans is empty the sack, since it can only carry 30 of each herb. We have to note the herbs and then go to the Ferox to put them in the looting bag. But this is basically the only tedious thing we need to do for Urbans now, and other than that, they're so great to do. Yeah, the bottomless bucket, one of the biggest quality of life upgrades we could have gotten. And sorry guys, I've been talking about this bucket for quite a while now, but I think you guys get how great it is now. Now we just have to finish off this Bloodfell task. We got 2 brimstone keys from this, so we can just open this after the task. That would be task number 60 completed, slowly working towards that 100 task, because then we will get another big point boost. That's the Bloodfell task completed. We still kept the 2 brimstone keys, no extras there. We just got a couple of blood runes on top of that. Unfortunately, no superior spawn. They're like 1 in 200, and we just finished off like 140 Bloodfells. Couldn't really expect one right there. Isn't really unlucky, and we'll probably see one anyway soon. This is the second time we get these Mystic Dark Gloves, and we already stored one of these, so there's not really a reason for us to pick these up. Like, we will never really keep these in our inventory, and we cannot store a second pair. So we just leave them on the ground. Unfortunately, no other collection luck. Another pair of Mystic Dark Gloves. Pretty crazy. These are 1 in 256 and we just got 2 in 12 KC. I think the RNG of this account is definitely turning around, even though it's not really the right place to spend our RNG. But we got the bucket, so it was spent very well there. We just completed the Wolf task for our 69 task, which is the number. And now we go to Kona for a 70 task, obviously. We still have 2 brimstone keys in our inventory. We'll also open the chest 2 times, see if we can get lucky there, and also let's see if we can get lucky on the task. Let's open the chest 2 times. For the first key, some coal, that's a drop. And the second one, some room full helm, some nice money. Let's just drop these coal because we definitely don't need this. And let's now grab an assignment. Jellies in the Catacombs is a really chill task. We can tag all of the jellies and basically AFK this, only have to watch our prayer. Most tasks in the Catacombs are pretty good. Usually when I see this I get pretty happy. So let's make a small trip to the jellies. We just sold the room full helms to the West RD General Store, and I'm not really sure if I have ever shown you guys how we restock. So we have noted prayer potions, and these we can just unnote at the bank. As an Ultimate Ironman, you cannot note items at the bank, which is a common misconception. There are some items you can note at different places, like herbs at tool leprechauns, but unnoting items always works at banks. So this is basically the way we restock, and this is also the reason why we carry around this noted stack of prayer potions. We just arrived at the jellies, and as you can see, we just tag all the jellies here, and then they will keep attacking us. Only have to watch our prayer, and other than that, basically AFK this. Jellies are pretty good for hard clues, and I talked about this before. I'm not entirely sure if we will keep completing these, as we get stuck on a lot of steps. But I'm just going to try to see whether we will do them. I think I'll just decide on that whenever we get a hard clue. Yeah, not too sure. Yeah, we'll just decide on that whenever we get one. Another consideration we could make is to also pray offensive prayers. We are currently only praying for the overheads. This would make the task a bit faster, but then again we'd have to restock more often since we use more prayer points, and I think in general we would lose time restocking more often. I'm not too sure on this, whether it will be worth it, but it would be very close, and in the end we will also use more prayer potions. Yeah, I think overheads are just the way to go. That's a mithril boot drop for another collection log slot. These Slayer tasks will definitely get our collection log up there. We didn't really have many of those. Our enhanced was, I think, our 26th collection log, which is pretty crazy to think about. Something we could also consider is barraging or bursting these tasks. It would definitely be bursting for now since we don't have 94 mage. We don't have Desert Treasure completed right now, and we could obviously do that, but the problem would be our inventory spaces. We'd have to make teleport to house tablets, we'd have to take a lot of runes. And I think in general it wouldn't really be worth it. Yeah, the clue, it's a wilderness clue. And especially when it's a first step wilderness clue, we probably never do it. As an Ultimate Ironman, you can deadball for it, which takes a while. And if it's like your 4th or 5th step, you'd probably opt to do it. But for a first step, probably not. We are halfway through the task, got 3 brimstone keys, and also sold some stuff to the West RD General Store. So with 1 restock, we should be able to finish this task. Yeah, before we restock, probably worth to open the brimstone keys first, since we can take a bit more prayer potions then. Let's see. Some gold ore, more gold ore, and some Torstal seeds. Torstal seeds we basically only use for farming contracts, since we cannot make super combats anytime soon. And the gold ores, they could be a drop, but since we do have the inventory space for it, or at least the bag space, we probably just put them in there. And we could always opt to keep them in the dead bank, so whenever we die we would lose them, but if we don't die we just have them, right? It's some nice smithing EXP, so yeah, let's just bag this, and whenever we lack inventory space we just keep them in the dead bank, I guess. Yeah, that's a good plan, I think. Someone in chat reminded me that we can use these gold ores to make Ring of Recalls later, because having to buy them at the blast furnace is not really nice. I'm not really sure how you exactly make these, but I think for the method you use, it's definitely the best to have the gold ores noted in your inventory. So I think these are more important than I would have guessed at first. I thought it was just some smithing EXP, but for making Ring of Recalls later, these are definitely nice. And considering we will get a lot of brimstone keys for our Slayer grind in the future, keeping a stack of these is really worth it, I think. Because later on in the game, we will get a Ring of Suffering, we will have to fill that up, and for that, having a noted stack of gold ores will be very useful for the Ring of Recalls. So I think the drop is even a bit better than I thought before. This should be the last kill before we complete the jelly task. No superiors again, unfortunately. They can definitely spawn here. Also another thing is in terms of loot, we cannot really pick up every piece of loot because we have such limited inventory spaces. So the farmer contracts are in fact a trade-off. We get a little bit less rune drop since we have to leave some on the ground. And also in terms of alcohols we get a bit less. But considering we did a big CG grind, we are basically stacked upon cash and runes. So I think this would be way more worth it to just do farmer contracts in between, because again, we're still hunting that 77 herb lore, and for that, farmer contracts are really nice. We are back at the Ammonite Crabs, and usually I miss these levels since I'm hard AFKing this, either while editing or just doing some other IRL stuff. But in this case, I'm just in time to catch 87 ranged. Really nice. We are slowly working towards that 99 for the trimmed skill cape, would be really good. And in terms of Slayer, it's really nice to have some DPS increase as well. And either way, I just like to AFK Ammonite Crabs while I do other stuff. This is one of my favorite AFK activities since you get both fossils, which are really nice for Herblar EXP. You get seaweed spores, which are useful in general for crafting EXP later. And always it's really consistent, right? You only need to reset once every 10 minutes. And especially with the NPC aggression timer plugin, it's really nice to reset this. That was a decent Ammonite Crab session, we got 3 fossils from it. Now it's time to mine some volcanic ash. Really nice to do this since we now have the bottomless bucket, obviously. And with the bucket, it's way more worth it to gather some ultra compost, because without the bucket, it's quite a time investment to do it. We need to do urpans anyway, so it would probably have been worth it. But with the bucket, it's so worth it to grab these. We got our first dog task, and I think I found a really nice way to do this. We can take the Fair Ring north of Narda, and then there should be these jackals here somewhere. Yeah, here they are, and these things count as dogs, and they're pretty easy to kill and also really close to the teleport. Fairly nice task. Yeah, it was a quick and easy task. In the beginning of the episode, I said I would be showing how we take our chef's head out, and we just take it out here at the stash unit. It's a really nice stash unit for an easy clue, or a beginner clue even, I imagine. And there's a red cape and a chef's head in here. We just take it, walk to the cooking guild, and there we buy the garlic pies. Really efficient way to do this. Let's grab another Konar task for task number 80. Some more jellies in the catacombs. Love to see it. Yeah, we might try to complete a hard clue, but we might also not. Yeah, let's just see. We got our first hard clue. Let me find a safe spot to actually open this, because can we even? This should be a safe spot, right? Yeah, we're safe here. Let's see. Yeah, it's another wilderness clue. As I said, these are always a drop. And that's another wilderness clue. Let's drop it again. And now we should be close to 57 Slayer. And not only that, but for 1600 total. That's a very nice milestone for the account. We have been stuck at the Corrupted Gauntlet for a long time, not gaining too many total levels. But now we are definitely getting up there. 1600 total, decent milestone. Let's work to the 1700. We just did a little restock, and we have 2 hard clues on the ground at the moment. And I know, guys, I'm giving you very mixed signals on these, but I just want to complete them, right? I just want to. I know we most of the times cannot, but I just want to. Yeah, this should be doable. Just with the Draymond stuff, yeah, this should be very doable. Yeah, let's just try it. Let's just try it. We completed the step. Let's see what the next step will be. Yeah. We have to make a stash unit for this. The Rune Halberd, Play Body, and the Amulet of Strength. But these are all items you can pretty easily get, I think. And building the stash unit for the future, it might be worth it. Yeah, let's just try it. Let's just try it. We just made the Unstrung Amulet of Strength. I think the best play now is to first build a stash unit, because we cannot take all the 3 items we need and all the items to make the stash unit. So I think the best play is to make the stash unit first, then grab all the items, string the amulet, make it to do an Amulet of Strength, and then we should complete the clue. We just grabbed the hammer, saw, and some planks and some nails, and now we should be able to build the stash unit. Yes, now let's grab all the items, and then we can complete the clue. So yeah, the halberd we can just grab in Port Tyrus, and the Rune Plate Body we can obviously just buy from Oziak. Fuck. We didn't do Dragon Slayer. We cannot even buy a rune play body. I didn't even consider this. Like, imagine having a BOFA and not even being able to buy a rune play body. Yeah, this clue is a drop. Oh man. That disaster probably was the last time we ever try a hard clue. This was terrible. Yeah, again, we don't want to complete Dragon Slayer because we don't want to get dragon tasks. And without Dragon Slayer, we cannot buy a rune play body, which is most of the time irrelevant, except for this specific clue. So for sure not worth it to do Dragon Slayer just for this clue. Yeah, it's just onto Slayer again. And I also think we won't be doing any hard clues from now on. Good news though, we did get our first superior spawn, and this scared the shit out of me. Suddenly I was watching my screen, was kind of AFKing this, and there's a big monster spawned, but obviously it's just a superior. Let's kill it and see if we can get any luck. Apart from a big 2k XP drop, no luck unfortunately. The Dark Totem middle is a collection lock though. We currently have a bottom and a middle on the ground. But even in this scenario, I think it's still not worth it to pick these up. Yeah, probably with our inventory currently not worth it. So let's just finish off this task, and our first superior spawn, that was a good thing though. That should be the last jelly for the task completion. That's 80 tasks completed, 90 points gained for a total of 420 points. Love to see it. And with the task completion, that will also be the end of the episode. We are going to do some Ammonite crab AFKing while I edit this video. We are about 100k XP off from 88 ranged, slowly getting up there. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.